Yep, how's life? Today I'm going to briefly talk about Jean Baudrillard's Simulacra and simulation. A lot of people might not know what a simulacrum is, so simulation we start with. Simulation to Jean Baudrillard means to feign to have something which one does not have. For example, if you are ill and if you are pretending to be ill, you actually don't feel a thing, but just lie on in bed and act if like you're experiencing some suffer. But simulating an illness actually develops some of the symptoms of that actual illness, for example, headache and stomachache. So simulation takes a step forward from feigning and pretending stuff. It blurs the boundary between the true and the false. According to Jean Baudrillard, in postmodern culture, we became more and more reliant on the maps and models, and we began to lose the real sense of the real world. Here are a few examples. The first being media culture. The contemporary media, including films, televisions, online social media, are not just concerned with trying to relay information and stories to us, but also they are trying to interpret our very private selves for us and interfere with the process of us approaching each other and approaching the world. For example, the social media algorithm. The algorithm recommends what you like and what is your favorite. So to a certain degree, you're limited to a certain topics or certain voices upon the same topic and lose touch with the different voices around the world. You're constrained in this comfort zone, which is built by the algorithm in order to make you stay on the site longer so that they can make more money. Another example is exchange value. According to Karl Marx, the entrance to capitalist culture is that we begin to think of things in terms of exchange value rather than use value. Use value means we think about what is this thing designed for, what is the task it was assigned. But exchange value means we're continuously thinking about how it is worth, how much it is worth. For example, how much money it is worth, as money here became the universal equivalent. So when you buy a phone, you're actually thinking about the price and the nobility. The price can define your identity, define your social status, rather than thinking about if your elder phone would still accomplish and assist you to do the job, to make a call, to send a text message, etc. Another result of this thinking pattern is that, for example, when we talk about coffee, younger generations might not think of an image of the actual plant which derives the coffee bean itself, but rather we start to think about Starbucks. So another example here, very famous, called Disneyland. Jean Baudrillard argued that Disneyland here is here to conceal the truth that the whole society is childish and infantile as the Disneyland itself. It is there to tell people that this is the park and this is all the fictional and childishness and infantile things happen, and outside there you are in the real world. But that's not true. The truth is that the whole world and society is just as childish and as infantile as the Disneyland. So to clear his point, he argued that there are three orders of simulacra. The first being in the pre-modern society, we still think the image as illusion. But in the second order, which is associated with the Industrial Revolution in the 19th century, where copies has proliferated, copies of great imitations of the origins has proliferated. For example, photograph. So the boundary begins to blur. And in the postmodern era where the third order of simulacra happens, we begin to see the simulacra. The simulation precedes the reality, so it even decides the reality, so we no longer get to touch the reality itself. Hope you find this theory fun and enjoy. Cheers.